here we are with the one and only Missy Munster and Jorden, aka Cunt Smasher, aka Thunderfoot. Okay. It's true. It's true. That's part of it.
That's part of it. Because Alex Crescioni said so.
No, it's because your fucking screen name said so. Your Instagram is Thunderfoot.
Yeah.
And but what?
Nothing.
So, Missy, for anybody who might not know what you do, which is a fail, but for anybody that might not know what you do, why don't you just explain to the world what you do and who and what you're working with.
Okay, so I consider myself an occult luxury wear designer with a background in fabrication. I specialize in customs and basically anything you can wear or custom microphone stands, and it all has to be brutal and evil and all that shit.
Has to be brutal. I work for metal bands, mostly Marilyn Manson, Behemoth, Prayers, Cradle of Filth, all the dark, brutal fucking metal bands. So perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So what's your latest project? I know you're probably working on a bunch of stuff, but what are you really excited about that you're working on right now?
I'm working on a lot of stuff, but super excited. I'm working with Behemoth, which is my lifelong fucking dream since I was a kid. So yeah, I'm working with Behemoth. I finally got my foot in the door, kind of accidentally, pretty much. But yeah, I'm doing some custom masks for them and stuff like that. So there's been a couple pieces out there that were in a photo shoot for Kerrang magazine, and then what was the other one? There was a Polish music magazine that Nurgle was in my pieces. But yeah, other than that, that's what I'm super excited about.
Excellent.
Everything else is kind of I don't know, just nothing compared to Behemoth, but
that's great though. I mean, Behemoth is phenomenal. One of my favorite bands as well. I'm sure Jorden loves them.
Was that your biggest oh shit moment?
It was weird the way it happened, so I didn't really go oh shit. It didn't really hit me, I don't think, until I had to deliver pieces. And I went, it was the day of the Slayer show, San Diego. And I was, backstage delivering pieces. And I was oh, fuck. I'm here.
Because you already know Slayer from, Kerry King.
Yeah, I know him. And I know Aisha, who's, fucking amazing. I adore her. So I knew them. But, Behemoth was, a totally different... I don't know. I don't really get starstruck per se, so it's kind of hard for me to notice that kind of thing sometimes because I get so caught up in the work and don't really pay attention. But I mean, just that, being in San Diego, being backstage, delivering pieces, seeing where my work was gonna go, that was really oh, fuck, even working for Manson, I wasn't super starstruck about it. It was cool, but, I've never been, a super huge Manson fan, so I wasn't, starstruck or anything, but...
How dare you?
I know.
How dare
but,
you.
Nurgle and Behemoth, I was because their aesthetic's just so fucking good.
What was it like meeting Nurgle for the first time?
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's really, really cool. He was always been really cool to me, and he's, really into my work, so it's nice to make pieces for somebody that is going to love them and appreciate them and wear them properly.
Of course,
you know?
yeah.
So that's been really cool, but yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, I love his Instagram is so entertaining. All his stories,
workout videos.
It's everything he posts. He's freaking hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome, and in person, he's super fucking funny too. So
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does it feel like when you see your pieces up on stage with those bands, and you're what feeling comes over you? Are you yes, or what does it feel like?
It kind of depends on what the project was, what the stress level was, because there's been some pieces that I'm just it's finally fucking over, it's on stage, I don't have to worry, and then there's some pieces that I'm it was a cool process and I get to live in the moment for a second. I love working for Cradle of Filth. They're one of my favorite clients. They're super fucking sweet. And like, I flew a stand to Dallas for them. And that was like the first time in a few years that I've gotten to like, even as stressful as that trip was, I got to like stand there in the crowd and just go, oh my God, it's done. It looks great on stage. And I was just like happy. But
so those are, are those part of the moments you live for? Like what are the moments you live for when you see your work on stage or in the photos of the artist? Like what are those moments?
Like the best part of it for me is mostly the process of like just going from conception of a piece to getting it done, like the whole entire process, even as stressful as it may be sometimes. That's what I really carry with me and like really like live for, because seeing it on stage is just like the final product, which is great, you know, it's awesome to see everything finished, but like the process is more of like what I remember.
Gotcha. So going from visualizing it to seeing it in front of you in your workshop, that's the moment for you.
Yeah, once
Gotcha.
it's like done, wrapped up, and I'm like putting it in the artist's hands, that's like the moment I'm like, when I get to deliver something, be like, here's your thing that you know we dreamt up, like your new fucking baby, like
Here's
you know.
Here's your thing. Here's your dark.
Here's your thing.
See, well, I'm experienced with that because you provided with me my dark daddy over there. He's taking a nap though because he has his dredger fell over his face. But yeah, he's over there. Yeah, that was a great moment for me too.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I carry the scar of that fucking piece with me the rest of my life.
the scar.
Yeah, I sliced my wrist open with an X-Acto making that fucking thing and had to go to the fucking hospital and get stitches.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
because of that thing.
creation of zygums. Oh my God.
Creation of Zygons almost took a life.
Jeez, that's brutal.
Right there. I have this,
That's it. That's
it.
Wow.
I have this vagina on my wrist for the rest of my life
Oh my goodness.
Damn.
because of zygums.
Well, scars are hot, so fine. Scars are metal.
Scars.
Very, very metal. So what else is going on? Talk to me. Tell me what's new.
I mean, what's going on? Well, we just finished the last show. We finally finished shooting this fucking collection that I've been working on for about a year now. So we just did the last photo shoot with Chad, which is like, it's done. I can finally focus on something else, which is kind of nice, but I'm really excited to get this collection out. Like, it's fucking beautiful, some of the work that we did. So
Yeah, your the last show. I mean, all the shows I've been to that you've done have been great, but this last one was like you just keep going up a level every show. Like it was.
oh, thank you.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was great, and the attendance was also amazing. Had a
Yeah, it
great
was
turnout.
sold the fuck out.
Great
Like
turnout.
we were at capacity, and I think over, you know, I was pushing it for sure. But that show was like me and my best friend Lauren, who's like the director and creator of Coven of Ashes, we like collaborate on shit. I go to her and I go, this is like my idea, this is what I want to do, and then us together like refine it. So a lot of that was like us coming together because we're both like, I'm really good with aesthetics and she's really good with movement and, you know, coordinating all that kind of stuff. So a lot of that was like us coming together, and it was fucking beautiful. Like I got to see it, but I had like a fucking bag over my head. So it was like being in that moment was cool, you know, getting to see like all of our work come together and all of that. So
That was a very intense scene when you're going through that process of the what do you call that? What do you call that process?
so we call it getting in a headspace. And for me personally, I mean, it's different for everybody, but I have a very easy time with doing that kind of stuff because I enjoy it, you know? So for me, like, I really had to try hard to convey like the pain from it because I don't necessarily feel physical pain from it. It's kind of euphoric. That show in particular, like doing that part was really deep because it came from a lot of like past trauma, like with the church and things like that. So I kind of had to like conjure that forth and like make sure that it conveyed. But I mean, once I'm on stage and I'm like, getting into the piercing and like, doing a pull or suspension, whatever I may be doing, like it's a completely different headspace. I'm no longer like me as I am right here. Like it's completely transcendent and different. And I just kind of have to like let my mind go and let myself go. And so I can be able to like do the things that I do.
Yeah,
So.
it's very evident though that you transform into that state, because it's like, yeah, you're just totally immersed in it. I love it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. And I'm glad you enjoyed it. I don't know what it's like being in the crowd. But
I loved it. It was more than enjoyment. I fucking loved it. It was so intense and gorgeous, and like, your visuals I've loved, always loved. But it's like when you combine it with the show and the models, and man, it's amazing. So
We're gonna have
congrats.
another show.
Yeah, right now we're thinking maybe November, December. We're trying to figure it out. I mean, it just takes a lot of time and a lot of planning to do stuff like that. So we're trying to figure it out either November or December. If not, probably the beginning of next year. The show that we just did was about a year of planning.
Really?
Yeah, it's been in the works for a while. And it was just like landing a location that's gonna let us fucking live pierce and hang people from the ceiling, so it's like finding a venue for suspension is not the easiest thing to do, because people see that and they freak out, so even as professional as our crew is, like we have to go in there and like really in-depth talk to people about exactly what we're doing and all of that, because it's weird to people still,
Of course, yeah.
So trying to land that venue and getting everything planned, getting the aesthetics done, getting the models, booked, and like, you always have to double book because people fucking flake.
Yeah.
So it's a process, and I'm just glad that it paid off so well, because I haven't heard one bad thing about that show. And usually, you at least hear something, but I haven't heard anything bad other than like religious crazies. But other than that,
But I mean, the people that willingly purchase tickets to see your shows know what they're getting into. So it's like,
Yeah.
who's gonna complain about anything? That's
Even
what they
then,
want.
You would be surprised.
Yeah.
You would be surprised, because we've had people like pay to come to the show, and I'm always very open with exactly what it is that we do. I don't fucking hide anything, because there's no real need to. But even then, there's people that are like shocked and floored, and like I have two friends that are twins, the Winter twins. They're amazing. They were doing tarot there, and they were saying that the guy that was sitting next to them in the crowd like was clutching a rosary the entire show, and I was like, why are you here? I mean, I guess if that helps you get by, but I don't know.
He was probably like getting off like super,
He's
super
right.
hard. It's like, yes.
He's probably one of those
So much,
psychos and shit.
yeah. Probably, yeah, that was probably one of those. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
wow, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, the amount of intensity, it's like everyone knows what they're getting into. So, but I mean, so what happens? Like, will people message you and be like, I didn't like this, or I think you went too far with this, or like, what do you get from that?
I get a lot of, my DMs are fucking lit. Oh my god, I get some crazy shit, especially after shows or before, with the imagery that we're putting out. Like, the imagery for this show, like on the card was my friend Tracy, who shot the promos for this collection, and she's like screaming with a crucifix. So people were freaking out over that image. I get all kinds of death threats and shit. Like, of course, we have to have heavy security at the shows. Like, when you walk in, they're checking everybody and stuff, because, with the imagery that we put out, with, the things that we do are very dark. And, I get a lot of protesters and religious psychos. I got protested at NAMM just for being there,
Really?
Oh,
Fucking
yeah. So, I mean...
I would say dark is an understatement for what you do. It's
Yeah.
like, it's
Absolutely.
but I mean, another thing I was going to ask you, like, so with your shows, do you open them to the public? So do you know almost everybody there? Like, for example, that guy you said that the Winter twins were saying, he was like sitting there holding clutching a crucifix? Like, do you know everybody there? There's some people you don't know, or
This show was a lot of people I didn't know because the attendance was so large. I mean, I see the ticket sales, and I do it purposely. When you buy a ticket, you put your name, you put your info and stuff, because I have to basically check who's gonna be there, you know? I mean, mostly the show, like, there was a lot of new people. Everybody was pretty great. Like, we had, like, no issues, but I mean, the more we do these shows, the more my work gets out there and bigger, and like, yeah, we're gonna start getting a lot of like newer people, you know? So it's just like a matter of like amping up security and doing like pre-checks and all of that, which is sad that we have to do that. But with the kind of things that we do, we're targeted, you know?
Yeah, you definitely need to screen people.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Never know who.
Gotta be safe.
Never know what weirdos are gonna want to buy a ticket to that. Scary
Definitely gotta
daddy
be
stuff.
safe with that stuff. Like, obviously, for me, like, a big fan of your work, obviously, for a long time, obviously, all that. But yeah, I understand how certain people can just like the work and don't really give a shit about the how dark you are and how, like, yeah, Lucifer and all that shit. Like, you know what I mean? You can just enjoy a beautiful piece instead of being all, well, what does it mean in my religion or his religion or that religion? Like, those kind of people just need to fucking relax and you go fucking drink a fucking go fuck off pill or something. Just enjoy it, you know? Because it's fucking beautiful. It's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, it was last summer we did a Coven of Ashes show, and we got this like evangelical crazy dude on YouTube who was going out there and just like talking about everything that we do and saying that we were like, you know, of course, the usual like killing babies and fucking, you know, all of that shit. But I can show you guys the video. It was fucking hilarious. And like, we were laughing, you know, but at the same time, it's like when you go and you scroll through and you read the comments, like, people are violent and crazy, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
the YouTube comment world is a very dark rabbit hole that you could fall into. I try to avoid it, but it is entertaining sometimes. For
It's
sure.
entertaining. When you
Very
read
entertaining.
It. Yeah.
For sure.
If you're a part of it, it must be a lot fucking different, though.
What's that?
If you're a part of it and like people are talking about what
If you're
doing,
commenting,
no, if people are talking about what you're doing, it's definitely a lot weirder than just like reading comments off of, you know, like certain subject that you looked at and you're like, oh, this guy's a fucking idiot.
well, okay, think about it like this. Okay, most people that have a successful career or what they're busy, nobody fucking comments on YouTube videos unless you really like it or it's something you're working on. Like, I commented on one today for this new video that one of my clients put out, but I rarely do that. The people that spend their whole fucking day like commenting on YouTube are the fucking trolls and the creepers and the people that are gonna write all the negative bullshit and all that crap. So yeah, it's like, you know.
For me, normally, like, my experience is like, it's like, dude, like right now, every band or every, you know, business or whatever you look at, almost everybody has like a, how you call it, like a Instagram page or a Facebook page. So like, there are certain people that you can actually talk to and actually can realize where they come from instead of being a fucking asshole and just commenting about something that you don't understand. You can actually have a conversation with that person.
Yeah.
That actually makes it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's very easy to communicate these days with, you know, like it's not
like you can like message a band.
Yeah, you can just
be like really huge and you can actually get a reply.
Exactly.
And
like
you're like, well, that's it. Then what's the point of just sitting there and just writing a message of like, I fucking hate you.
Because you know they're gonna see it. You know they're gonna see it.
Those people, like, in my opinion, are just complete fucking. Obviously, it's just complete fucking waste of time. Like, if you fucking want to know anything, just fucking ask a question. Then you'll fucking understand it. Not fucking comment a bunch of fucking vulgar fucking bullshit. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I'm an asshole. I don't know.
So these recent shoots you've been doing with Chad. So this is for the new collection, the new works. What is that called?
Yeah, so I'm getting ready to launch Let the Devil In, which is this is my biggest collection I've ever done. It is fucking massive. We had to split it into 4 shoots now, just to get all of the content shot and done. because it's just so much. So I'm finishing that, which is going to be like a huge collection of pieces that are all custom. They'll be for sale, of course. And then the imagery coming out with it is basically to publish and do editorial and stuff like that. So we're kind of pushing the brand into like the higher fashion realm, while still keeping it exactly what it is, because I'll never compromise my style. Like, there's no fucking way.
As you shouldn't.
No, absolutely fucking not.
So, I mean, I've gotten a lot of shit for a lot of years for my style.
But it keeps growing. So obviously everybody that is giving you shit, they're fucking wrong about it.
Exactly. I mean, my career was almost ended before it was even really started because of how dark my pieces are, and people did not take to me well. People did not take to my work well, and I just stuck to it because it's for me, it's not just an aesthetic. It's something I'm like compelled to create and make, and you know, I'm not gonna water it down. Like, even though it's, you know, fashion, and like that's kind of what I've been dealing with the shoot, is because, you know, we're trying to get it published, trying to push it, but like publishing is very vanilla and very, you know, normal, vanilla. You know? So like trying to get anything into a magazine is a fucking bitch. And it's been a process, you know? So I'm just really trying to get it out there without watering down the brand or compromising the style. And I think once the imagery's out, everybody's going to fucking love it. Like, it's beautiful. And I'm usually really, really hard on myself, and I look back at my old work and I hate on it because I'm like, oh, I could have done this better or whatever. But this is the first collection.
That's what everybody goes through that, though. That's like, I go through that all the time. You know, but that means you're growing. That means you're getting better. The problem is when, you know, when people look back on all their shit they've done for the past 10 years or 5 years and like, oh yeah, that was great. That's amazing. Everything I've done is amazing. No. I think it's better when you look back and you go, oh my God, you're embarrassed by some of your old work, which I am. But it just means that you're getting better. I mean, because that's the goal, right? Is to get better. So you can't look back on everything you've done and be like, that's fucking gold, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I was gonna say, oh, have you had anything in Gothic beauty?
Not Gothic beauty. I've had stuff in dark beauty.
Dark beauty.
And that was about 4 years ago now. But I'm going more towards like Vogue and like Vogue Italia, and like trying to get it up here because I do want to keep my brand high end. Like, there's a lot of designers that do more accessible fashion and more things that, you know, are cheaper or, you know, a little bit easier for like the public to, you know, get. While I do like, you know, working with the public, you know, I will pretty much work with anybody that can, you know, come to me with a good idea or like afford, you know, my pieces. Right. I'll work with anybody, but I do like keeping my brand a specialty brand because it allows me to keep my quality really high. Of course. So, you know,
don't ever want to compromise your quality or your brand or your imaging and your aesthetic, all that. Like, so it makes complete sense.
And quality is everything to me. You know, I'm known as one of the best, you know, custom fabricators like in LA. And I before I transferred into design, I was working in the effects industry and I was in shops fabricating. So, you know, when you're working on like movies and TV and things like that, the quality needs to be really, really, really high because everybody's very particular. So I took those standards and just transferred it into my business. So every piece I make is really like you're getting the best that it can be, you know?
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. So would you say you do, is the majority, do you get like, obviously you get a lot of customs, but what would you say, like sales wise, do you sell more of like, you know, the stuff on your online store, like people ordering that like a lot, or are you doing more of those sales or more of custom pieces?
It depends on the season, honestly. I mean, usually towards like the beginning of the year, I get a lot of customs because people are gearing up for like tours and things like that. Once it gets more towards like, you know, of course, Halloween and like the end of the year and stuff, that's when I get people just like raping the online store. So,
raping the online store.
So, it just kind of like, it fluctuates, you know?
Yeah, I love your online store is great, and I love the titles that you have for your pieces. I love all the titles.
They all mean something special.
Yeah, super dark.
Yeah, I mean, I do that to keep things like different because I don't want it just to be like, you know, fucking Black Halo crown, you know, because it's
Demon Mask 1.
Yeah. It's so many
Red
brands do
horns.
that. And it's boring, you know, and like each piece I create is a one of a kind, like it's different, you know. So I feel like as you would title a painting, like I need to title my pieces so they're like set apart from the rest, you know.
Of course. So projecting, like, okay, let's project 10 years from now. Like, where do you want to be? Where do you see yourself? Like, what's the goal? What's up here?
What's the pinnacle?
Because you're already super successful, and you're working with like band. You're working with, you know, bands you've always wanted to work with, but you know, you're still young. You're young. So what's 10 years from now?
I mean, as far as goals go, I just want my brand to be around. Like, I want a long-lasting career, keeping quality high and keeping my aesthetic high, you know, and just keep delving into that aesthetic, keep developing it to where I'm at the fucking top. Like, I don't necessarily put like restrictive goals on myself because I feel like life kind of takes you in different directions, whether you like it or not.
Oh, yeah.
All I can ask for is to be successful and not fucking homeless, like, at this point. So I'm just like, as long as things are like, you know, steady and, you know, that level is still high, I'm happy, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's such a privilege to make a living, not only self-employed, but doing something you love and something that you created and something that people seek you out for, because that's like, it's super hard to do, but when the people that can make it happen, like you said, I mean, that's such an accomplishment, you know, just being able to live and make a living off of your own creation, your own work, and just you. So I totally agree with you there. Like, yeah, because a lot of people want to do that, but they're, you know, they don't want to take the risk, or they don't want. There's so many reasons to not try and do that, but yeah, totally feel that. So Jorden, how you doing over there?
I'm good.
Yeah. What's the name of that pen on your shirt? Evergrey. Yeah. I was like, I don't know that band.
Yeah, most people don't.
What do you? Did you hear the new Immortal CD?
Yes. I mean, it's okay. Like, I love a bath. I'm like, it's still good without a bath. My dog is named after Immortal. Oh. You know? So I love Immortal. I think it's great. I'm really into that album, and then Marduk just came out with a new album that's fucking awesome too.
I checked that out too.
It's great. It's fucking great. That's like my gym music. I love that album. So
yeah, I saw a bunch of people posting about the new Immortal, so I checked it out this morning, and I checked out the Marduk one whenever that came out recently, and then I checked out the new Obscura album. Have you heard them?
No.
We were listening to it earlier, but there's a lot of this year has had some killer releases.
Yeah.
Like,
what about the new Demo Burger album?
Fuck yeah.
Just like, no.
Is it too
black metal enough?
Is it too it's too Lord of the Rings?
Okay. I love Demo Burger. I love them. I love them. I don't know.
Dem choirs though.
Dem choirs.
You know,
Demo choirs.
there's just such a fine line when it comes to aesthetic of, you know, things being up here and occult but still done well. And then there's some of this stuff can start to look haunted housey, you know? And I was
campy.
That's how I kind of felt with like the newer looks that they're doing, and I'm just like, you guys are fucking brutal. Your music is great. Like, I just wish the style was a little bit more refined and kind of evil. It's a little bit like Dungeons and Dragons.
So it's not like the music. You're actually talking about what they wear and stuff. Oh, okay.
I like their music.
It's way different.
You know, I like their music. It's a little bit like fucking when I have it on in my car, I feel like I'm going to the Shire.
Exactly.
You know?
I love that shit. That's what I thought when I heard not the Snakes one, the first one. What's the first single?
Well, everybody hates that one.
I don't hate it. I was just like this. I feel too sprightly listening to this. What's the name? What's the name of that one?
Sprightly.
Forgot, but I think everybody compares it to like a Nightwish song, basically.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Like
I will not listen to that shit. Fucking Nightwish.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on.
You're frolicking through the Shire in.
Nah, I fucking love the album. So I mean, I understand to a certain degree why they went the way that they did, and like why they released that first song the way that they released it. Like, you know what I mean? I think that they wanted to shock people and be like, hey, by the way, we're still Demo Borgir and we can do whatever the fuck we want, so fuck you.
That's the thing.
But like that's what I think. But again, like a lot of people are just like, fuck them, they sold out, but I don't think they did. Like,
well, people said that a few albums ago. You know,
people say that about every fucking band and everything that you do. It doesn't fucking.
You're making money. How dare you?
How dare you make money? Asshole. Whatever. But are you gonna go back to Iceland anytime soon? Or no?
So
The weird question.
my fucking schedule, anytime, I swear. What I do when I want to be busy is I try to plan a fucking vacation because that's when all of the work comes in. It never fails. So, hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm planning for the beginning of next year. But as soon as I say that, I'm gonna get a whole fucking band that needs like 75 pieces for a fucking tour, and everything needs to be lit on fire. So, you know, fingers crossed I can, you know, take a vacation soon. But yeah, hopefully. I mean, and then there's like Poland coming up, so I'm like hoping I can spend a little bit more time there and like see Poland because it's like full of castles and you know dark, brutal, evil shit. And I've always wanted to see the fucking catacombs. Like I've never really seen Europe, so you know, like I want to see the catacombs and like all of that stuff. You know, do more like the darker shit.
So you're going to Poland in a couple weeks?
It's looking like December.
Where are you going in a couple weeks?
So I'm gonna be in Vegas for a week doing the Association of Professional Piercers conference. Me and Lauren are going out there to represent Coven of Ashes. So they did like every year they have panels, you know, and they did a panel on, you know, people in performance and specifically like ritual performance and body modification. And we noticed that there wasn't any female representation at all, which is pretty common, you know, in heavily male dominated industries, you know, which is fine. I just think like they should recognize that there are a ton of females in, you know, ritual performance and doing brutal shit that most guys wouldn't do, you know?
Fuck no. It's a proven fact that women have more of a, how do you call it? They can handle more pain than men can. It's a proven fact.
I mean, the girls that I perform with are fucking incredible. And, you know, so we're going out there and we're going to be like, what up? Like, why is there no, like...
Just going to walk in there with a bazooka and start fucking booming people.
I mean... as far as the West Coast goes, like we're doing a lot of stuff, you know, we work with Embrace Chaos, who does, you know, the suspensions and stuff like that. But I mean, I just feel like if you're gonna do a panel about ritual performance, why not have female representation? Like I get that, you know, a lot of the people who pioneered the industry are male and they deserve that respect because they did create, you know, a lot of what we do now. But like, why not have a female, especially like, you know, there is a lot of female performers, not only just Coven of Ashes, but I mean, just, you know, in Vegas alone, like there's tons, like my friend Genocide, who's like an incredible, you know, female, like she does freak show kind of stuff, like pain performer. She's incredible. You know, I'm just like, you could literally get a ton of girls. Like, why not just have at least one, you know, like have Lauren go up on stage and talk about like what Coven of Ashes is doing and like, you know, keep it current, you know, not just like reliving the good old days when everybody was just like a man doing this shit, you know?
Well, yeah, because more people want to watch women do it anyway. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Come on. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I would. Right?
No. Yeah.
No?
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, I don't know. I think women get glossed over a lot when it comes to performance. And especially like, you know, Coven was created to be a little bit more inclusive because in a lot of the suspension troops, like certain body types or certain looks don't get put into a performance role. You know, so a lot of the girls that we do like have in the troop are, you know, not necessarily your like typical chick that gets suspended. You know, like we have bigger girls, we have girls that are, you know, modified in different ways, different, you know, ethnicities and stuff. So yeah, we're just trying to keep it more inclusive and, you know, shed light on everything that we're doing.
You're trying to break the form, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah, and I think it's more interesting because it's something that hasn't necessarily been done before, you know, so when you do come to our shows, like, it's more to look at, you know, it's not just something that everybody's seen, it's not, you know, it's not overdone. Like, I feel like there just needs to be a little bit more, like, spotlight on, like, different body types and stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean.
Totally agree.
Yeah. So Iceland, maybe? In January?
I'm planning. I just want to go like fucking sit by waterfalls and like relax and fucking think about forest fairies and shit.
How big is Iceland?
It's not huge. I think there's about 300,000 people on the island. One of my good friends, Hannah, is there right now, and she just like put up a picture of her next to like this big waterfall and stuff. So I'm hoping to make it a vacation and kind of work like.
I want to go.
New inspiration, I guess.
Yeah, right? Well, I was thinking of shooting.
I want to go there so fucking bad.
You know why I want to go there? Because of the fucking puffins.
I want to go there because
they're mean as fuck. Puffins are dicks.
I want to hunt a fucking puffin and eat one of those fuckers.
I want to go because of
you can eat them.
I know that. I fell in love with that video that Gordon Ramsay has. That he goes to Iceland and with his guy, and they're hunting puffins on the side of this fucking cliff, and he almost falls off. And he's taking forever trying to catch the puffin with these fucking nets. And then he finally catches one, and then he goes and like prepares the puffin all amazing. And it looked fucking delicious. And I want to do that so bad. If that's all I do and I go there, I'll be so happy. But I also want to try that fermented shark. That horrible.
I just want to go to that natural. How you call it?
The lagoon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, those are the three things that we have to do.
God.
Maybe we can take a daddy-cation.
We need a
daddy-cation.
Daddy-cations.
The daddy.
We should plan it because
daddy-doms.
It's weird because I've seen tickets to go to Iceland for like $450, $60.
Yeah.
Now it's like Wow Air. It's fucking cheap. So I'm hoping to like go out there, of course, visit like friends, and then, you know. I want to shoot like the next collection, so hopefully I want to shoot there so bad.
Isn't that like the place that has like the black beach?
Yeah. So the candles that I just
Black Sand Beach.
Fuck.
The candles I just gave you guys actually have like black sand from Iceland.
Oh shit!
Yeah, because it's supposed to be magical. So
should we burn them or not burn them?
Yes, burn them.
Burn them so I can get the essence of it all.
Yes.
So you can conjure Iceland in your fucking studio.
Get that essence. Get that essence, Daddy.
So if I burn them, am I magically gonna fucking grow horns?
Yeah, you're gonna be a fucking elf.
Like, oh yeah.
You already got horns right there.
Yeah, I know.
Behind you, Daddy.
Yeah, that's your face.
Yeah, you can.
No.
No, not
Which one is my face?
Yeah, so I'm hoping to like vacation, shoot the next collection. Because I already have in mind a whole new fucking massive collection because I just don't know how to stop. So hopefully shoot that there, and then I'm also trying to shoot in Mexico. We'll see.
Oh.
Hopefully I don't get my fucking head cut off, but we'll see.
No.
You know?
You'll be fine. You can go down there all good.
Probably depends on where you go, I guess.
Should I was thinking about going down there to for my surgery.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Sorry.
Are you gonna get tits or what?
No, medical the medical tourism. I can go down there and get my surgery all fucking cheap.
Dick enlargement.
By some badass doctors. No, I'm just kidding. No, but so where in Mexico were you thinking?
So I have a couple friends that like travel and do suspension, and we were talking, and there's a lot of ritual grounds still in Mexico because there's like, you know, ruins and, you know, more like foresty, jungly areas and stuff, and I would love to do something like in like ruins, which would be fucking amazing. But
actual ruins.
You know, I mean, I would love to go shoot there. So, I mean, I have huge like goals as far as like where to shoot collections and stuff. We're also thinking Louisiana because there's, you know, the plantation's still there, and with like the big willow trees and stuff, and there's this place called Evergreen Plantation that I've been like obsessing over because they have what are still like the plantation homes and like slave quarters and stuff that are just like still there, you know, and I would love to shoot there.
Ooh, that'd be fucking dark.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Dark as fuck.
Damn. Ooh.
Like Iceland.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I feel like Iceland's so magical and beautiful, and like I want to shoot there, but
it has like really dark history.
Exactly.
Why.
And like I just with this next collection, I want to do like a lot of darker, swampier, just like dirtier, eviler shit.
Constantly upping the game, constantly upping the bar. The more filth, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Should probably go to like Poland or something like that with that shit.
Well,
yeah. Well, you're
I can go
going
scout.
there anyway.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just have hit up Nurgle and be like, hey, can you take me around to all the most filthy places,
fucked up places
in your land?
He's like, yeah, here.
Like, yes, daddy.
Yeah,
Please
they're
take
doing
me.
like a I think it's 3 or 4 days show called Merry Christless. So it's like just before Christmas, and I'm like, okay, I want to do that. So I'm like gonna go there. Yeah, go there and see my pieces on stage. And,
Oh yeah.
You know?
Did you see his Instagram today? By any chance? Did you?
I don't know. What is he doing?
They had a listening party.
In the
Europe.
church in Sweden.
Yeah, for the new album. Yeah, thought that was pretty sick.
It's beautiful. It's so beautiful, that fucking church that they were in and everything. I'm like, how fucking perfect to have your like 5-song listening party. So like his vision, the way he executes things is just fucking awesome. He's like insightful with, you know, what he does.
Well, he's just, I mean, he reminds me of, you know, your work ethic, because it's like he doesn't compromise shit.
No.
He does exactly what he wants, and he doesn't quit until it's exactly how he wants it, which is
100%.
phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's probably my most favorite person that I've ever worked with, because collaborating with him is fucking rad. Like, the way we met was like kind of by accident. So I worked for Prayers, and I did like a big microphone stand for them and stuff, and I met Mario from Thrown into Exile because he was hitting me up like, dude, I would love a stand for the band. Like, I love your work, you know? And we just so happened to meet at Shining when Shining came to town, that fucking shit show. So like me and, you know, Janelle, we were there, and like he walks up and he's like, oh my God, I get to meet you in person. We're like talking, and he's like, you know, you work for just about everybody, like who would you want to work for? I was like, Behemoth is my number one. That's like up here. I had no clue that he knew Nurgle because he like worked for PV and stuff, and you know, no fucking clue. You know, I just thought he was like a cool fucking homeboy from LA, you know? So I'm like, yeah, I'd love to work for Nurgle. He goes, oh, okay. And then like, you know, he would talk about it and be like, no, I want to introduce you guys. And I'm like, okay, like if it happens, it happens. Like, we'll see. I just like things to happen organically, you know? So I was like, okay, cool. And then at NAMM, I didn't know that Nurgle was there. Had no fucking clue he was signing because I hadn't been on my phone. I was up for days making pieces for NAMM. So we're there. Oh, that's the timer.
We'll wrap it up in a few minutes.
Okay. Yeah. So
yeah, we had a snoring party one of those nights.
Oh fuck yeah, that was good. That was fun.
Oh, you were
that was
partying.
Good times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're at NAMM on Saturday, and I'm like, fucking exhausted. That was the night that nobody slept, that you guys were in the hotel room, and I was I had been up for days. So Nam took us 6 fucking days. So like by the time that Saturday came, I was like dead, and like I'm standing there and Janelle comes down. She had just gotten there. She goes, let's go up to PV. Like I heard they have like a ton of stuff up there, like the exhibit's cool. So we go trotting up to fucking PV, and I'm like decked the fuck out because it's Nam and she's like wearing all my stuff, and I wasn't expecting to meet Nurgle while I have a fucking crown of thorns and a fetus on me, you know? So I'm like trotting up the stairs, and you know, I see Mario and he goes, just wait right here, and I'm like, okay, like I didn't know what was happening, you know? And so I'm like standing there for like 30 minutes, and I was like, I'm in heels, I gotta go manage this booth. So we go to like, I'm like, let me just go say bye to him, he's probably busy, you know? So I'm like going to say bye, and Nurgle's right there, and he's with Mario. Mario's like, I want to introduce you guys like right now. And I was like, okay. So I'm like freaking out because I'm like, like I don't know what to say, like I'm fucking awkward, you know? So I like meet him, and I have this like big gold crown of thorns on. He's like, how would you like to make one of those for me? And I'm like, like just let me die now, like and then I'm just like freaking out. Janelle's like, yeah, we suspend all of your music, and he was like into it, like he was into the hook suspension. So I was like, cool. So I didn't think anything was gonna come of it. I gave him like my calling card with like photos and stuff, and I was like, you know, if you're interested, like here you go. Like at that point I was like, it's enough, like I'm just happy to have like met him, and it's cool, you know? And then like 2 days later he asked to meet up, and I was like, okay. And like when I meet with clients, I usually bring like whatever pieces I have in stock or coming out for a new collection. So I brought this like fucking, you know, thing full of pieces, like a train case full of pieces, and a huge fucking flip book for him. And I was like, okay, we'll have this meeting, we'll see where it goes. And like I showed up to the meeting, and we started developing like a mask concept that he wanted, which you guys will be seeing hopefully this year.
I think I saw it already.
Yeah.
I mean, I know your work. Obviously, I'm not going to say anything, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it already.
Okay. So we developed a concept for like a custom mask, and then I shipped 2 huge boxes full of pieces to Poland for him, just so he has basically one of every piece that I've put out in the last like 2 years.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He's stocked up.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
So yeah, it was kind of by accident, and so he like has all my pieces. I did like a huge custom order for them, which yeah, you guys will be seeing fairly soon. It's coming out with the new album, and they're beautiful. They're beautiful pieces. So he has all those, and then I'm working on some like 24 karat gold plated pieces that I'm like that are like specialty for him right now. So
hot damn.
Yeah, they're really beautiful. It's my favorite thing that I've ever made, and we just shot it. I wanted to get some photos, like good photos of it for this collection, just to put out as like promo material, because it's fucking gorgeous. And yeah, it's my favorite thing that I've ever made, so I can't wait to see him in it and wearing it, and it'll probably be like in music videos and stuff.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Exquisite.
Yeah.
Absolutely exquisite. Well, that's a perfect place to wrap it up. Do you want to, where can people find you if they want to check out your work?
Links, everything.
Links. Okay, so
Plug it up.
my website is mmcustomstands.com. My Instagram is like, I guess it's what the @ sign at mmcustomart. And then yeah, you just go on my website. You can literally find all of my info there and all of pictures and stuff. And then yeah, follow me on Instagram. That's the best place to see everything that I have going, because Facebook is honestly like I just put the same thing that I like put on Instagram on there. But yeah, like that's the first look at anything that I'm working on and all the photos and stuff. So
And it's mmcustomstands.com.
Yes, and then my Instagram is at mmcustomart.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much, Missy.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Jorden.
I didn't do shit. I just drank beer.
Thank you.
Fuck it.
That's it. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.